Hello and welcome back to my channel, and I've been on the BFI website again and I have found a film called The Big Sick, and I've just noticed looking at the internet at the time of recording this, it is still available in a couple of cinemas in the UK. However, this is being recorded quite in advance of the time that it's going to be scheduled for release on YouTube, so I don't know if it will still be available when this goes up. Anyway, moving on, it's a good film, go watch it. It is a rom-com, it's based on a true story. However, I didn't actually realise that when I watched the film. I didn't actually know anything about it. Literally, I looked at the new releases, saw it, thought, okay, that looks interesting. Got the film, watched it, and then I did some research about it to discover it was a true story. I'm actually kind of glad I did it that way, because if I'd looked it up first, and I would have seen how it ended, and I'm glad that I didn't know how it was going to end. I think if I'd known how it was going to end, it might have spoilt it, so I'm not going to give that away. So I suggest, if you like rom-coms, you go and watch it, but don't look anything up about it, because as soon as you start reading up about it, you'll see how it ends, and that will spoil it. In fact, I may have already said too much already. It is well acted, it's well directed, produced, and everything about it is really good. It's done on a really tight budget. I just had a quick look on the internet. So it's only made with $5 million, which in the film industry isn't much, but it brought in $55 million at the domestic box office. So it was clearly a good film, and it's won some awards, and it is worth it. There are a couple of slow moments that kind of my attention did wander a little bit in various places. It is 2 hours, so for a film to keep me completely engaged for a full 2 hours is actually quite a challenge, because I do have a short attention span and my mind does wander, especially when I'm watching at home. If I'm watching in the cinema, then I find I can focus more on a film. If I'm watching at home, I find it quite easy for my mind to just wander off, and there were a few moments when that happened, but it got my attention back. Whenever it kind of lost me, it did get me back, and the last like 40 minutes I was fully engaged and invested in the film and seeing what would happen. I'm not saying it's a bad film when I say my mind wandered off. That is just me. I have a short attention span and it is a long film. But as I said, not every film could keep me engaged for that amount of time. The story, as I said, is a rom-com. So obviously man meets woman, it's quite straightforward. But he is of Pakistani descent, and his family want him to marry someone from Pakistan, and she is of American descent. So he has issues telling his family because he doesn't want them to disown him, and then she obviously gets upset by this and they split up. Then she gets very ill, and so she's actually in a medically induced coma for much of the film. And then things happen. I don't want to spoil too much of it, because that will take away from the enjoyment, because I didn't know what was going to happen at all completely. I hate predictable films. I mean, and if you watch any of my other film reviews, I say this quite a lot. I hate predictable films, and I found of this, I wasn't really trying to predict how it ended. I was just going along for the ride while my mind was focused on it, which I enjoyed. I mean, I hate films where I can just sort of go, oh, it's going to end like that, and then it does, and I don't like those sort of films. This film, that never happened to me. I was never really thinking beyond that particular scene. I did sometimes think, oh blimey, this isn't brilliant, what's going to happen. I don't mean that what's not brilliant the film, I mean the what's happening to the people in the film, the characters. I say the characters, they are real people. The characters in the film are real people, they exist in real life, and they had a hand in writing the film and producing it. And apparently the main female, what's her name, Emily? Is it Emily? I've completely forgotten. I only watched it last night. Hang on, bear with me. Yeah, Emily, played by Zoe Kazan, and then you've got Kamal, played by Kamal Nanj. I can't pronounce that. I'm just going to butcher that if I even try pronouncing that last name. It is a really enjoyable film. Obviously, it deals with cultural differences. It deals a little bit of racism, Like the main character Kamal, he gets a bit of racist abuse, not much, but they do hint at it. But then you could also say it's the other way around, because obviously his family don't want him marrying an American white girl, even, and then he even asks them, well, why have you brought me to America if you don't want me to experience American things? And so it does deal with some sensitive topics, but it does it in a funny way. I mean, Emily's in a coma for like half the film, and they still managed to make it entertaining and funny, which is quite a clever thing to do. So I recommend you find it. It is available online in various places, and I say at the time of recording this, it is in selected cinemas, but I'm recording this on the 21st of January, and that's not going to be on my channel until sometime in February. So whether it's still going to be in cinemas, I don't know, but never mind. It is an enjoyable film. It could be it could be a good date movie if you want to take someone watching it, or a good film to watch at home with somebody. I mean, obviously I watched it on my own and I enjoyed it. I say it is 2 hours, so bear that in mind. But it is worth it. I mean, as I say, it's won awards. I can't really fault it, apart from being a little bit slow in a couple of places, but it's based on real life, and real life isn't always full-on action-packed. Sometimes life has slow moments. I mean, I know that. My life can be very slow at times. So, yeah. Okay, I've got lots of other film reviews on here. If you want to check them out, I also have lots of other things on here, like blogs, how-to things, and various other things, whatever I feel like making, really. If you subscribe, I will love you forever, especially now with YouTube's new policy, because they've changed everything, and I really need to get to 1,000 subscribers. And I'm just check everything out. Thumbs up, brilliant, and I'll see you later. Thanks, bye.